Good evening, vampires, werewolves, and other nocturnal beings. Welcome to Tiddies By Night, a Vampire the Masquerade actual play run entirely by creatures of marginalized genders, and presented by Tabletop Tiddies.
I like that.
That's
That
great.
was good. I like that. That was unexpected, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm just going to add something each time for you. My name is Kelly, my pronouns are they, them, and I will be your storyteller for tonight. With me, I am joined by the investigators of the occult and unusual. Emily.
Hi, that one's me. Hi, my name is Emily Matchette. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Imogen White, and her pronouns are also she, her. For those of you who didn't catch our episode 0 last week, Imogen is Irish. She is quite short. She has lots of plants, as you can see on the screen right now. Her weapons are plants and kindness. She's got a big heart and an empty head, so she's just lovely. Oh, she's so salubri. There we go. I missed that one. So close.
It's okay, we'll get there. We'll smooth it out by like 15th episode, I promise.
Yeah.
Shar.
Hey everybody, I'm Char. My pronouns are she, her. I play Octavia Smith. She is a Tremere. She is blind herself, so she can always be found with her guide dog at her side, Prophet the Black Labrador. Octavia, I almost called her Tremere as her name. Octavia is very connected to the occult and the unusual. She is quite the tinkerer. She has a lot of blood rituals she does. She's been a vampire for about a decade now, just under a decade. Yeah, she enjoys the evening air quite frequently.
And Rachel.
Hello. My name is Rachel Theilade. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing Evelyn Stormloft, the Nosferatu, and her pronouns are also she, her. Evelyn, as you can tell, is a Nosferatu by the character art. She is rather disgusting. She used to be lovely, absolutely gorgeous, but, time has not been kind. She's the oldest of this troop. She was about 30 when she was embraced, but now she is about 90, so has a lot of wisdom and wit at her side, as well as her trusty sword, which also can be disguised as a cane. She has a lot of information that she keeps, and she will be using that to her advantage.
We have a couple shout-outs before getting into it.
That's me. I go first. Today, I am shouting out the fabulous Michaela Artoria, who creates amazing dice boxes. This is custom made. Is it clear if I hold it up closer? It is.
Yeah.
And it's fucking massive. Thank you so much to Michaela Artoria for making me this amazing dice box.
I still have my old one.
Kelly has one that is a regular-sized coffin.
It's okay, Char's taller than me.
Maybe I'm compensating for something.
Hey, but like podcast purposes, it sounds like Kelly just has a regular human size because they can't see it.
It's just a regular
coffin.
You know.
We're just it's the bathtub stream, except we're in coffins for all the listeners out there.
Whoa. Totally want to do that now.
But thank you so much to Michaela Artoria. They are on Instagram. I'll put their handle in the chat. They'll be willing to take your orders if you'd like some custom dice boxes made. They also have the customized. Mine's just an Ankh on the front, but you can get your own clan symbol on the front of your box.
Ooh.
And the inside material can be changed. So yeah, check them out. Michaela Artoria on Instagram.
Yay. Who next? Are we doing Sirenscape or are we doing Twitch shoutouts?
I will do Sirenscape last.
Sirenscape.
I guess
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Go.
will do it then. I have a Twitch shout out to do tonight. We are shouting out awfully queer heroes. If you watch Tabletop Tiddies, you will know we've shouted them out before, but a lot has changed and they have lots of stuff going on. So let's get to it. Awfully Queer Heroes are a group of LGBTQ creators that play D&D, make TTRPG content, and play games on Twitch. They have a Kickstarter launching early in June. It's called the Sunblade Pantheon. This D&D sourcebook will include 65 subclasses, 8 races, 6 gods, and 3 feats. I'm actually super stoked to check it out. It sounds amazing. Be sure to check it out and support it if you can. I know I will be definitely checking that out. Their Twitch schedule includes streams on Wednesdays earlier than us starting next week, as well as Saturdays. In the coming months, they will also be adding a new D&D stream featuring an all BIPOC cast. So go check them out at twitch.tv at Awfully Queer Heroes, and be sure to follow them on Twitter at Awfully Q Heroes. They are lovely.
Yay.
Absolutely go and check them out.
And as Rachel said, we will be using Sirenscape tonight to make everything a little bit more spooky and ambiance. I have also a few surprises thrown in there for the cast. And I'm going to click the yay because now that I can press this button when I'm talking, it'll work.
Yay!
Wow, that was loud. For Tiddies by Night, and same with Tabletop Tiddies, we'll be using lines and veils. I have a compiled list of all of the players' hard nose, their soft nose, and everything that is fine to use. I'm going to try my best each episode to determine or predetermine any possible trigger warnings for everybody. For example, in this episode, there will be some scenes of elder neglect, so if that is not something you are into, feel free to hold off. And I will add any more triggers that show up in-game in the description of the VOD, as well as the YouTube videos. And the players at any time can use the X card. We'll stop the scene, we'll rewind, it didn't happen, and no reason whatsoever. They don't have to explain, and we will move on from that so they can enjoy the game. All right, last time on, nothing happened because we had our session zero. All right, so let's get into Tiddies by Night, the case of the haunted window. I almost said window again.
It's okay. The Twitch overlay also says window.
What?
Yeah.
You can change that.
Listen, when I posted on social media, you told me window. I'm going with it.
I need to, at some point, put a window now in this.
There has to be a scary window.
Can you fix
it?
I can't fix it. I don't want to fuck shit up.
All right. Well, it's the
it's the haunted window now.
I'm so sad.
And there's also a widow.
There's also... All right. Look.
Woo!
So
we're doing great.
We're going to start at the Bureau. What do you guys want to call it? Agency, Bureau of the Investigators of the Occult and Unusual?
I think either is fine.
Agency.
I like that.
It is a old building in the middle of the city of London. It has been used for several other businesses in the past, but for now, it is home to some supernatural investigators. And it is inside a velvety red, warm lit room with an all right amount of plants. Just a good amount of plants.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Deeper into the agency, however, is a sprawling dungeon-like area. A spooky, haunted... Oh, what am I doing? There's no... There we go. Spooky sounds. A spooky, haunted basement where we find the three of you. And we're going to start with Octavia. Octavia, as you rise this night, why don't you give me a rouse check?
I'm secretly hoping I fail. I got a 5.
All right. So this beast is brought to us by Nora Ibrahim, who has recorded Char's beast lines.
The only thing more important than knowledge is survival. Your spite against the latter constantly disappoints me.
So you hear the voice of your quite condescending beast in your head as you wake up a bit more hungry in your room. And you hear the quiet panting of Prophet at your feet as he awaits you to wake up in the night.
I Is my coffin closed?
That's entirely up to you. Do you sleep with it closed?
I sleep in the basement, so I'll sleep with it open because I don't need to worry about sunlight getting in here. So I'll immediately reach out my hand and give Prophet some nice head pats, some chin scritchies as I get up. And I'll head over to my wardrobe, change into my outerwear, and head over to my bakery.
All right. So as you approach your door and you pull at the wooden door, you hear a ding 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 ding, as there is a bell at the kind of where your door meets the frame to indicate that somebody has left you a bit of blood during the day.
Perfect timing. Aiden always treats me well, and I'll scoop down, and I'll just drink it right away since I woke up on the wrong side of the coffin this evening.
You chug your delicious, yet a little bit lukewarm chicken blood. Free range, one of the brown ones. So, they make the eggs that are brown, I think. I don't know.
Would there be non-free range in the Victorian era?
Yeah.
I feel like they're all just in fields. I don't know.
They haven't had time to corrupt the
factories.
Extreme
and stuff.
capitalism.
Maybe there would be.
You highly
It is the
underestimate
time.
capitalism.
That's true, actually. I just thought about it. Like, I shouldn't say this. I'm going to be proven wrong. The mystery of the chicken factory.
So you enter out into the musty smell of the dungeon, and you hear the far-off wisping calls of the many spirits that haunt this business. As you walk down the carpeted, somewhat... there's a few niceties in the halls to make it feel a bit more comfortable, towards the kitchen area, a sort of torture-esque chamber that has been converted into a kitchen area now.
Octavia, I'll reach forward, grab everything that I need from the icebox, and start quickly preparing what I normally have for our clients that come by. I'm not anticipating any ruffians coming by, anyone we need to potentially track, so I'll just be making the regular apple fritters from my mother's old recipe.
That's fair. And Prophet will be at your feet trying to collect any potential scraps that you might drop in the meantime. While you're doing that, we will go deeper into the dungeons where it gets a little bit colder, a little bit more inexplicably slimy, and a lot more chains and manacles set up, where we find Evelyn's sleeping chambers, also in a coffin. Evelyn, will you give me a rouse check?
I suppose. That was a success.
Nice. You are unaccosted by the voice of your sire as you rise from your deep sleep.
I go, good evening, not today, darling, to myself, because I know the beast wants to come out, but I'm just like, no, I don't think so. And I get up and I check my sword, I give it a nice polish, make sure it's up to snuff, and then I assume my darling William will be on his way to tell me all of the happenings of London.
Do you give off like an aura of needing him to show up?
Yes, a little bit of a annoyance, but where are you, William?
Somewhere deep in the sewers, he's like, oh, no. And after a while, I forgot. Oh, God. You hear the of his footsteps coming up under the grate in the corner of this slightly slanted room, and you hear him a little bit panting as he shows up, and he says, "Oh, you needed me, Mom."
I always need you in the evenings, darling.
Right.
What is the news of the town? Please do fill me in. You are my eyes and ears.
Of course. There's some beggars in the West End. Heard that there's a rich couple done bought the Palace Theatre. Fanny told me that Ebba told her that Royce told her that it's a couple of toreadors. Real rich they are. Bought the theatre for a song. Hope to turn it around.
Bought the theatre, you say? Interesting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Been keeping an eye on that doctor that hired you a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Seems that
Nothing has come of that, I take it.
no, I think he skipped town for a while. Haven't seen him.
Yes, I think he probably assumed we've caught on to his little scheme. Very good.
And there's been some killings down in Southwark, but I pulled the crew out, kept a couple people down there to keep an eye out, see if things calm down. You don't.
Was that all? Was that it?
I mean, and you kind of see this like sense of like hunger in his eyes as he stares at you.
Very well. I hold out my wrist.
He pulls out like a small little knife and kind of like slices your wrist a little bit and energetically laps up the blood.
I give him just enough to satisfy him, and then I pull my hand away. I'm like, well, if that is all, you may leave.
Right, of course. You know where to find me. And he kind of like...
Of course.
All of your assistants are just inexplicably moist.
Uh-huh, absolutely. It's just the way I like them.
It's a real
How
aesthetic.
smelly is the moist, though? If these are the sewers.
They're in the sewers.
Yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Evelyn herself kind of smells like corpse.
I'm in that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think I smell really great,
No.
but she doesn't give a fuck.
Yes. And you begin to hear the telltale signs of dishes clattering outside further down into the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will make my way out into the kitchen then.
Perfect. And we're going to cut on over to a more homey section of the dungeon that has been decorated with all of the trappings of a fresh vampire. And we're going to find Imogen asleep on a normal-ass human bed.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Trappings of a new vampire.
Because, still, like, humanity, like. There's, less coffins and grime
not-
everywhere.
Gross.
You're living with some
For the
real
record.
goths, Imogen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need
Imogen
you
is-
to give me a rouse check as well.
All right. I rolled a 10.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so not hungry well, a slight hunger, but you don't wake up any more hungry, and you are not visited by the voice of your aunt this evening. And
Yay.
what are you gonna do in your room to get ready for the night?
Well, I'll get myself out of bed just for starters, and then I think I'll get dressed. I'll put on my headband. And I'm feeling a little music-y this evening. So I'll play a little bit of violin, make sure none of my plants are dying yet, and then we'll head on out to say good morning to the girls.
Nice.
Good evening. I think she always says good morning, even though it's the evening, and we're just like, what the fuck?
Absolutely.
You hear the clattering of pots and pans as Octavia is preparing to make pastries, and you see Evelyn approaching as well. And the lot of you are in this sort of cramped, sort of grimy kitchen as Octavia is preparing pastries.
I'm just like rolling out the dough right now. And as soon as I finish, I'd put it like on the floor for Prophet to like lick up.
To lick the dough?
To lick the rolling pin. Yeah.
Oh, it's like you're gonna let the dog lick the pastries before you.
Well, I'm not
Like,
going
we're
to
not
be
eating
eating
them.
them.
So okay,
Yeah.
You can also tell that Prophet would like something else right now. He kind of like sniffs the rolling pin a little bit and licks it, but doesn't seem entirely satisfied.
I'll pop these finished turnovers into the fire, and I'll walk over to the entryway of the door, which has like his second bowl there of like a stainless steel bowl. And I'll like slice my knife in my thumb, but I'll hold it, and I say, "Prophet, sit.
Give me a charisma animal cat. First roll of the series.
Making
Yeah.
my dog
His
do
dog
stuff.
Is dog training. Listen, he's at home. He's a guide dog on the streets and a good boy in the hallways.
That is
I'm like, where are we going with this? Oh no.
Four
Four
successes.
successes. Yeah, that's enough. He kind of like hesitates a little bit, just and then sits down and waits patiently for the blood. Like drooling, you can hear just like drops of drool hitting the floor.
As soon as like the pitter patter of his nails on the floor stop, I lean down and fill the bowl.
All right, and he just like laps it up without even waiting for you to stop.
Rude, Prophet. We were very hungry today, weren't we?
And you hear Imogen and Evelyn enter the kitchen.
I look over at Imogen and I go, "Did your plants enjoy your song? I assume you played your violin, right? Yeah.
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 Oh,
I'm
they
like,
did. Absolutely. Did you?
It was fine.
Lovely, Imogen. I
Thank you so much.
enjoy your melodies.
I could go and get it again and play another one for you if you like, and I run off to
yeah.
go get it.
It's oh.
Don't discourage her. I appreciate the music.
Oh, fine, fine. But we have more important matters to talk about. I have some news of the town. Apparently, Dr. Hyde skipped town. What a surprise. We all knew he was up to something not so good. We apparently have some killings going about in Southwark. We might be asked to investigate that eventually. And there apparently are a couple of well-off toreadors who have bought the theatre.
Bought the theater. I never thought they would
Indeed.
sell.
You would
know.
know that Palace Theater was actually running out of money, and was probably.
I just
going to be
assumed it was going to die and, you
Die
know,
off and-
just be burned to the ground.
Well, we'll see what comes of that. I think there might be some interesting happenings about soon.
Imogen, when you get back, give me a dexterity and performance
Oh,
to see
gosh.
how lovely that this performance is.
Do you have specialty in performance for violin?
I think that I do. Yes, I do. That adds one, right?
Extra
Yeah.
die.
Yes, for sure.
Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add that extra.
I have theme of Imogen, but I can't remember if it's a violin or not. I might just click it when she starts playing.
If it's a success.
2 successes.
It's all right. You're a little bit like nervous and excited that somebody in the agency has requested that you play for them, so it's a bit scratchy.
Not really.
It's like, yes, this sounds about like what I heard in the other room, yes.
It's a little
Thank you.
scratchy.
Yeah.
Prophet kind of bumps your leg a bit while you're playing and struggling a bit. So yeah, after some time,
Octavia still gives a hearty clap at the end of that performance.
I give a golf clap. I'm just like,
you can you hear Vanessa in the back of your mind, kind of like a little.
I silence as much as I can.
After
I give like a great bow.
just the deepest bow.
Just the most beautiful bow curtsy that you ever did see.
Very good.
Do we know
Love
if
it.
Marguerite is here already? Marguerite, I call into like the megaphone thing that we have that goes upstairs.
You hear the clacking and clicking of a typewriter stop for a moment, and you hear just the heaviest heel walking on the ceiling above you, coming down as your assistant Marguerite was on vacation for a while, but has since returned, and she's going to join you downstairs. So as you hear her footsteps come down the stairs, you see a shorter woman who appears to be in like her late middle age. She's wearing a layered and quite dated dress, and a corset so tight that it looks like she's trying to choke herself with her own chest. She has salt and pepper hair that's been pulled back in like a painful looking bun and a small hat pinned to the side. You smell cigars, just the reeks of cigars and gin as she comes down and says, "You got a client by the name of Murphy came by earlier today."
I said it in the chat. I was like, "Oh my God, is Marguerite Marge?"
She lives. She will forever be in every one of our shows.
This was supposed to be the cliffhanger at session 1, but I completely forgot.
Oh my God.
So now it's the reveal.
I love it.
Sorry, I just was stunned by your presence. A client by the name of what?
I'm pretty sure she said Murphy, right?
A client of the name of Murphy came by earlier today.
You're looking absolutely lovely today, Marguerite.
Thanks, it's a new makeup. And it's just like caked on.
You'll have to teach me one of these days.
Sure thing, doll. Anyways, I told him to come back tonight to talk to you since you were, in your states. So, he's got a problem. I don't know.
Please don't tell me you said in states.
I said you were out as we rehearsed.
Ah, very well.
Good.
Anyways, he's supposed to be coming by pretty soon. He seemed a bit skittish, so I would he kind of like eyes you up and down, Evelyn. Maybe discretion a little bit.
Don't worry, I don't plan to make myself seen. I'm used to it.
Did he give any did you take any notes about what was requested or perhaps what we would be needed for?
He didn't want to give me any information. He said he wanted to talk to the professionals.
Well, Marguerite, you are a professional. You're part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be showing up every single episode. I'm sure. And we'll want to bring you with us everywhere we go.
I'm sure that
You're just our favorite.
I'll keep my lines to a minimum in that case. Anyways, if that's all, I'd like to get back to filing.
Yes, totally fine. I say, I'm not in charge. You do you, Marguerite.
You just like let one of your employees just free roam.
Do their thing.
We did establish that none of you have any financial experience, so she 100%
That's
like
her.
manages the books and all the You're just the
We trust her.
You're just the vampires that go do missions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She kind of like looks at the oven and she's like, "Let me know when they're done," and begins to walk upstairs. Because Kelly 100% knows how a Victorian oven works.
Yeah, it's done.
I'm like, is it gas range or fire stove? Anyways, she returns up and you are left to your devices.
Octavia will reach over, like with a dish towel, take out the turnovers, prepare them on a nice like 3-tiered standing dessert tray, and say, "Imogen, darling, could you bring this upstairs for me?"
Absolutely. And I do that.
I kind of just glance over to Octavia and I go, "Well, when the client arrives, would you like me to stay down here, or do you mind if I try to make myself unseen upstairs so I can snoop about?"
Oh, always snoop.
Okay.
The aesthetic of the top floor is very like spooky and macabre, but like the almost like a dollar store decoration style because that's kind of what the clients look for when they come in is like we want the
ooh,
so spooky,
unusual.
Yes, the occult and unusual, which does include a lot of like dark corners and stuff that if you just stood in people don't really notice you.
Wonderful. It's almost like we thought of it.
Yeah. So
Some places have a suit of armor, others have a suit of Evelyn.
I'll even wear my mask.
it's true. You could just pretend to be a mannequin or something.
Yeah.
So, Imogen, you go upstairs first with the tray of baked goods that are freshly out of the oven, and a little bit of like nostalgia of the smell washes over you, but the sad kind of nostalgia, because you know that if you try to eat one, you will immediately get sick and throw it up.
Oh, that's no fun, is it?
They're quite.
I think I probably learned the hard way about that one, didn't I?
Yes, most kindred do. But yeah, you follow upstairs after Marguerite, who is now sitting back down. A massive cigar is lit as she's typing away and filing some of your previous cases, and the open spot where the baked goods usually are is available. Evelyn and Octavia.
I will go upstairs, and as soon as I'm going to stay by the shadows. I'll have my mask on, obviously, because if I do happen to be seen, I don't want to be seen. But I will stay near the shadows, and as soon as the client arrives, I will activate Cloak of Shadows and disappear.
Sounds good.
I'll just be upstairs. I'll go in my seance room, and just keep myself busy shuffling my cards.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing while you wait, Imogen?
I think just sitting very impatiently.
Give me a wits and awareness.
Okay.
Very important one. This is the most used roll ever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have my like cheat sheet, and we are using resonance for this series, but the first word I read was horny as one of the resonance for
Yeah.
I was like, notes. Hey.
3 successes.
Okay. As you're sitting, you see that some of your plants, a few of the leaves are wilted and could use a little bit of pruning. It seems that Marguerite has not been tending to them.
I mean, that's not her area of expertise, is it? She's about the
touch them, if
books.
I'm being completely honest. I will attend to my plant babies right away.
Just kind of like fluffing them and plucking them. She just kind of like looks up and shakes her head.
I also look over to Marguerite. I almost called her Marge and shake my head.
She specifically does not like to be called Marge. She doesn't know why people call her that. It's very strange. So yeah, about a 45 minutes pass or so as you're just going about your business when you hear a ding of the front door.
And I'm gone.
Just disappears. The smell of rain precedes the young man as he enters through the front door. He shakes off water from his pants and nervously fumbles with his umbrella. You hear the swoosh of popping open a couple times as it's like dripping over the floor. You can nearly hear his heartbeat pounding in his chest. As he walks around the corner to sort of the meeting area, he notices that only Imogen is here, as Octavia is still in her seance room, and he sort of takes off his hat and his jacket and just sort of nervously is looking around for anyone other than Marguerite and anywhere that he can put his hat.
Why, hello there. It's lovely to meet you. My name's Imogen. What's yours?
My name's Murphy. Nice to meet you.
It's just lovely to meet you, Murphy. Oh, here, I can take your hat and your coat for you, and your umbrella.
Oh, thanks. Kind of like nervously hands it to you.
So we have our visitor, and Octavia will walk forward.
Evelyn and Imogen, you can see that he has short blonde hair, dark brown eyes, and the faintest bit of facial hair that has ever existed on a human being. He's wearing what appears to be a new outfit, tailored suit that he seems very uncomfortable in, and the jacket is sort of like the darker jacket so that it doesn't get stained from the water. And he says, I came by earlier, and your assistant told me you weren't in till later.
We had quite a few errands to run today. But tell me, what is it you need? Unfortunately, Marguerite had no information for us. Quite a disappointing.
Yeah, it's a little sensitive. I don't really want people to know that I've come here.
Why? We're very well known, very reputable establishment. The investigators of the Occult and Unusual are the most pristine investigators in all of England. Perhaps all of Europe, I would say.
I mean, that's...
But don't take my word for it.
I mean, I've heard of you, Octavia. My aunt's a big believer of the sort of, ghosts and goblins and whatnot. But a lot of my friends wouldn't be too keen on knowing that I've come by and, partook, I suppose.
Well, let's hope you don't have any ghosts and goblins following you around, then, shall we?
Maybe you should get yourself some better friends that don't judge you so harshly for the places you've been.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that. Do you have somewhere we can sit, maybe?
I am assuming there are.
Right
Yeah.
here.
Like,
Just in the chairs. These couches and chairs, isn't there?
Yes, there's like sort of like a meeting area where there's like a long couch and then a couple extra chairs with a little dining table in the middle. And he sort of like nervously walks over and sits down right in the middle of the big couch. And I'm assuming the two of you sit across from him.
Yeah, I'll plop in my usual chair, like a velvety purple armchair with like a really high back.
Yeah, I like to think that the collection of furniture in here is not matching. It's sort of like eclectic and gathered.
And can I use Sense the Unseen
For sure.
on this man?
That would be a...
Wits and aspects for me.
Correct. Well, wits and aspect, I believe, is if I'm rolling for you. I think it's resolve and aspects if you're trying to trigger it.
Ah, thank you.
And
That's even better. More dice for me.
I will tell you now, you probably will be able to see Evelyn.
yeah, I'm just chilling.
3 successes.
Yeah, I'd say that would be enough to see Evelyn. There doesn't seem other than the ghosts that are sort of lingering in the basement that are closer to you. You don't sense anyone other than Evelyn around. It doesn't seem that he's using any sort of blood sorcery or is a ghost or anything like that. He's just a nervous young man.
And there doesn't seem to be any like thing attached to him that I can sense.
No, not immediately.
Yeah.
Not immediately.
All right.
And he says, "All right, well, I suppose. See, I'm a caretaker for this old widow. Her name's Henrietta Carbey. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Have I heard of her?
You can give me
Yeah.
a let's say intelligence and streetwise.
Oof.
Am I doing this as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, all three of you can do it.
I'm in earshot. I'll do it. Intelligence and what, sorry?
Streetwise, which actually
You
is
probably
your...
would have a lot of that.
Yeah. Only 2. Not that much. But
I
it's
got 2
okay.
as well.
I have 0 streetwise, so.
0 to your eyes.
Oh, hell yeah. No, I got 1 success out of that. I was rolling 4 dice. That was not that great.
Very good. So Imogen
know.
got 2, right?
Yeah, I got 2.
So you've heard of a Carbey steel mill, but other than that, you don't know anything. Octavia, you know less than anything. And Evelyn, you're like, yes.
I feel like it's very upsetting that I don't know because I'm supposed to know things. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Your knowledge is more the the kindred side of things.
Mm-hmm.
This is just some human bullshit, probably.
This is just some human bullshit, probably. I would like that on a t-shirt, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
first merch.
Interesting.
I will take note.
Anyways, as that didn't happen in real time. That was just you guys trying to.
Yeah, we're just like, who?
What was the name again? Sorry.
Her name is Henrietta Carbey.
Okay, thank you.
Carbey. I was.
You said we know the steel mill.
Well, for some reason, only Imogen knows Carbey Steel Mill.
Okay.
None of you have ever heard of the name beyond that.
Cool. Amazing.
I was hired by her family when her husband died, and I'm supposed to be like her caretaker. I, watch after her, clean up the place, all that stuff. Her home's always been kind of creepy. But I always chalked it up to big home, alone woman, old place. Wind goes through everything, all that stuff. 'Cause I'm not a big believer in ghosts or anything like that. But recently, stuff's been getting a bit more scary, I suppose. Doors would open, I'd hear voices coming through the house that I was sure weren't hers. And one time I found a kettle that was going, and I swear I didn't put it on. Does this sound like normal things that happen?
Well,
would she have put the kettle on?
She was fast asleep. She usually wants to be locked in so that I can go about my business of cleaning up for the night. So I'm pretty sure that it wasn't her.
She wants to be locked when she's sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know. Some safety thing, I guess. I suppose. I didn't ask questions. It's a decent paying job.
Do you have any contact with her when you're at work?
Yeah, I show up about early morning, tend to her when she wakes up, make her breakfast and take care of her for a while, and then I'll leave, come back later, and then do it all over again for her nighttime. And then once she's asleep, I usually tidy up a bit. But a few nights ago, and that's why I came here, is I heard a few voices, and I thought I might as well check it out, see if, someone's broken in, tried to kill her. I found an empty room.
As one assumes.
This is a very far jump to make, you would think.
Listen, I'm supposed to take care of her. If she dies, I don't get paid.
Fair enough.
As it is. Anyways, I found the voices were coming from an empty room. There wasn't anyone in there, but there was a candle lit. And I looked around, didn't see anyone, tried to look, see if she got out of her room. That's when I looked in a mirror. That's when I saw it. It was horrifying. It was pale and thin.
Your own reflection.
In addition to my reflection.
I couldn't tell myself. I'm sorry.
There was me, and then there was something next to me. It was gaunt and horrifying. It had sunken black eyes. I whipped around, and there wasn't anything there.
Oh, it couldn't be a trick of the light. 90% of our jobs that we get are just disproving things that people assume are hauntings.
I tell you this. It was real. When I turned back around and looked at the window, or the mirror, it had writing on it. It said, "Get out or die." So I did. The first one, not the second one.
Well, obviously you're here in front of us, aren't you?
And the Henrietta's still in the home.
I couldn't go back. I haven't been back for a few nights.
For a few nights, and she can't take care of herself?
Did you at least unlock her bedroom?
She's been locked in her bedroom for this entire time, hasn't she?
She's got the key.
Oh, I
So she
see.
locks herself in. Oh, that was unclear. It sounded like you were locking her in her room, and I was very concerned. But if she's locking herself in, that's a little safer, I think.
Evelyn's just in the corner trying not to move and like trying not to burst out laughing every 2 seconds because this is just so funny. Just like
Wait a minute. Let me go back. What is
This is a big rich house. Why did he jump to her getting killed? Why couldn't they be stealing things or anything else? But you're jumping right to her dying.
I mean, it's people. Everyone says that his death was an accident, but people didn't really like him too much.
Well, see, now you're talking about a him, so I'm very confused.
Frederick, her husband.
But he's. Are you assuming he's the presence?
I don't know. I didn't see him when he was alive.
Or whatever Murphy saw was what killed him.
You think that he was haunted?
Well, you never know. I haven't been there, so I can't really actually tell you what I think.
So you think if I do go back that I could die?
Well, if
We're
you
all gonna die
hire us.
sometime, you know. Or you could hire. Yes, or that one. Octavia's got much better ideas than me, honestly.
It was just like, get out of here. Everyone's gotta die at some
You
point.
gotta go to someone.
Just go back to the haunted house.
if it's your time, it's your time.
It's fine.
We'll
Don't.
go back with you, darling, if that's what you need. We wouldn't want you to go alone. It does seem like something nefarious is at work here.
I don't want to go back. I'll pay you. I'll pay you everything I have. I just don't want to go back there.
Well, I have to give you props for coming to someone instead of just leaving the job.
Just thinking about her there alone, I feel bad. I shouldn't have left her.
It's interesting that she locks herself in and didn't mention anything to you about why that was.
Like I said, I assumed it was security. She doesn't... I'm not the first one she's hired. I assume that she just doesn't want to be left alone while she's sleeping with a stranger wandering around.
Or perhaps you're not the first one to see that ghost in the mirror.
That's also likely. Listen, I don't have a lot. And he sort of like pulls some money out of his pocket. And you see like a few days' pay based on the wages that he had talked about. He's if you can go in there, either get rid of that thing or move her out, I don't know. I just, like I said, my aunt know about you, Octavia. And I trust that you'll know what to do, more than I did.
Well, we'll all go, of course. We take half payment up front and half when the job is done.
All?
Pardon me?
There's only two of you. Or does she go as well? And she kind of like nudges towards Marguerite, who just like...
Oh, Marguerite always stays here, but we sometimes have another partner that comes with us every now and then. She is still out doing errands at the moment.
All right.
She's lovely. You'd absolutely love her.
I'm sure I would. You can you kind of give me a wits and awareness again, Imogen.
Me?
Yeah, why not?
I gotta remember what that is again.
Got the spooky music.
I'm enjoying it. It's good.
Mhm.
3 successes.
You see, as he's been trying to avoid looking at you a little bit, and in his nervous composure, you can see him like blush a little bit. He's about your age, and more that he's embarrassed. Not that he's like hitting on you or anything. He's more embarrassed that he has to admit that he's a coward in front of you.
Oh,
Uh,
a nugget. A nugget. My sweet, sweet golden retriever gamer boyfriend.
That escalated quickly.
He crushes ye old Red Bull and slams it.
Oh boy.
He also writes down the address, which is 72 Warwick Gardens, Kensington, which is a real area, but not a real address because I didn't want to dox anyone.
Yeah, when we become so famous that people want to visit the house of the haunted window.
Widow! It's the widow. People are going to be so confused part 2 when they're like, I thought it was the window, but now
Now it's a widow.
Now it's an effing widow. What the heck? So yeah, he's put the money down on the table, kind of like sits back down, and he's like, do I just, can I come back tomorrow and get an update or something?
Lucky for you, we don't have any other cases on our plate this evening, and this seems urgent enough that we would definitely want to go right away. Yes, check in with us tomorrow evening. If we are not here, Marguerite will, of course, be here to fill you in.
Mm-hmm. He kind of like stands up, shimmies back to where his hat is positioned, and puts it back on. He says, "Thank you. I really appreciate it."
Anything else you can tell us before you leave? Anything about this interaction? What? You saw a figure in the mirror, a gaunt, pale figure. What did the air feel like?
It was like death. It was heavy and reeked. I was only in that room when I entered it. And
Not a normal smell that's in the apartment usually.
no, not the usual old lady smell. Worse than that.
Imogen giggles. Old lady smell.
I mean, she keeps it fairly perfumed. She has a whole collection of it, and she's always filling the house up with it. But this one was different.
Can I do a check about like now that I have this information about the smell? Like, does this seem like it would be a real wraith? Am I thinking it's a wraith? Are we playing with wraiths?
There's a lot of questions.
Sorry.
Give me an intelligence and occult.
Can I use my specialty ghosts?
Yes. The things that
Hell
this
yeah.
boy is describing.
I have so many dice for occult shit. Wow, I rolled so bad.
Remember, you can use your willpower if you wish.
That's true. I might as well. We're already halfway through.
Yes.
I will roll again. Okay, so that's 5 successes.
All right. So what he's described definitely is like the elements of a wraith, like the poltergeist style of like doors opening, voices, things being set up that they didn't set up. Even the smell and the like the pressure in the air is very similar to what you know of a wraith. The only problem that you find is that everything that he's describing is stuff that like your average ghost enthusiast would know.
Oh, so maybe he's lying.
So it's but this is just with your level of information. This is like that checks all the boxes of a wraith.
Okay, now can I do insight?
Roll me insight with disadvantage. There is an insight. Wit's an insight. Give me that wits.
Which is really too bad because I only have 1 dot in insight, and like in all of our practice sessions, because we did some practices, I continually ask to roll insight, and I never upped my dots.
It's okay.
I have a lot of insight, if that helps.
You could also.
You should roll insight.
Yeah.
I don't. I have 1 dot in it. No, like I could be.
One success.
What's an insight?
Yeah. Our empath here will discover it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Since
I
he's-
won't.
Oh.
You also
Roll
can
2
use.
successes.
You
That's
also
better
can
than
use
me.
willpower?
Yeah, I'll use one willpower. Sorry.
Up
tell me
to
how that
4
works
black
again.
dice you can re-roll. So you don't have to re-roll ones that succeeded if you don't want. Unless you want to go for that sweet 10.
Hell no, I'll take what I can get.
Good choice. Good choice.
That only got me 1 more. So
3. That's
3
still
successes.
good.
That's still pretty dang good.
So you don't know the information about ghosts that Octavia does. But he is being genuine with the information that he is giving you. He doesn't seem to be like making it up or anything like that. The information he's giving you is genuinely what you believe he believes happened to him.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And he's sort of, if that all, then I don't have much more information than that. But if you have any specifics that I hadn't thought of, I can help you out.
Who else knows about the house and the lady?
The Carbeys, her family, they don't live too close to her. They sort of just hire people out to be her caretaker. I did an interview with them, but that was about it.
And what was the husband's name one more time?
Frederick.
Frederick. Fred. Did she call him Fred?
I think so. She doesn't talk much about him anymore.
That's all my questions. Imogen?
Would you like a pastry before you go?
Sure. Yeah, I
Grab him a pastry.
haven't eaten. Which one? What flavors are there?
They're only apple,
Apple,
and I
yeah.
didn't make any trackers today.
So it's just turnover.
Yeah.
An apple turnover. He takes it. There's like the daintiest little napkin underneath it, and he's like, "Oh, thanks." And he tries to like hold up his umbrella as he leaves while holding the apple fritter. As any person who drinks coffee in a rainy city knows, you're like, coffee, umbrella.
You're like, no. Yeah.
Maybe got your breakfast sandwich gripped around the coffee. And he leaves, and you hear the rain outside, heavy now, pouring as he opens and closes the door.
And I come out and I go, well, that was interesting. Because I was just there the whole time.
Yes, it seems we may have a real case on our hands.
What was it about the family not living close by to this Henrietta?
Yes, and
I
paying
found that
other
rather
folks to take
interesting.
care of her.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little suspicious that this might not be all that he is telling us, but I don't think he knows that.
I call bullshit.
Indeed.
9
Indeed,
times out of
Marguerite.
10, it's a nephew blaming the ghosts on the death of the granny so he can get inheritance.
Mm.
Well, you know, that's a very smart thinking.
Thanks.
Are you alright? Do you need to lay down?
I think I might. Jesus.
Just blood starts gushing out of your forehead.
That was a wow.
I know he.
9:30. Here we go.
I know he was rather handsome for a mortal, but please keep it together.
Was he handsome?
No.
I saw him looking her way.
Imogen! It seems you have a suitor.
I eat a pastry
Oh.
just to end this conversation.
Oh.
Give me a willpower check.
How do I do that? I can't remember.
So it'll be all of the remaining willpower that you have left in dice.
With
and
replacing one for a hunger as well.
no, just
No?
flat.
I sit down. I go, this should be good. I
One
want to watch
success.
this.
One success. The moment you go to swallow it, your throat feels like dry, and it sort of like scratches up against you, and you You can feel just the blood bubbling up inside of you as you throw it up all over the floor and take 2 points of superficial damage.
Oh, will you look at that? Now there's a mess. I guess I'll go get something to clean it up.
Oh, don't worry. And then I like pat Prophet on the side. Bloody dessert? Wow, that's dog heaven.
Oh, yep. He would definitely. He was in like business mode because he had to. But the moment that the client leaves and Imogen throws it up all over the floor, he's just like, getting slightly bonded to Imogen. No. All right. So you have with you a kind of pittance. He said he was getting paid pretty well, but it was like compared to like a dock working day laborer. And an address to Kensington, which is kind of the like rich area, not like the nobility and royalty, but it's sort of like the upper class region of greater London area.
Before we go, I'm going to go and fetch my... Actually, no. Prophet, go get my planchette for me, please. Hurry up. Hurry up. How much did you eat, Imogen?
It was a full pastry and 2 damage worth of blood came up. An awkward silent moment of just goes by, and then Prophet finishes licking the carpet and will go retrieve your planchette from your I assume it's on the top floor.
Yeah, it would be in the seance room.
And he comes back and sort of like pushes it up against your leg.
Thank you. And I'll just open one of my little side pouches and plop it in there.
Imogen and Evelyn, are you doing anything to prepare before leaving?
Oh, I think I'm pretty much ready to go. I thought maybe I would look and see if I could find William around, if I could tell him to go and get information on the family of the Carbeys for me.
Ooh. That's some big brain thinking.
Yes.
Cool. I got a question. Do you let William into the agency, or do you have to meet him at the grate?
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to go into the sewers for this one. This one, I don't think he should be in here, because I don't want him stinking up the joint. I already do that enough.
So yeah, you can, sure enough, you can omit your psychic bond with him that you need him immediately, and you can go down and you can meet him in the sewers. This area is actually quite large. It's almost like a lot of parts had to go down into this grate back in the day. So there's quite a lot of room for people to stand down there. And he sort of shows up out of breath again. He says, "You need me again, Mom?"
Yes, duty calls, William. I need you to find me information on the Carbeys. Does that ring a bell?
Any more information? I'm quite sure that's a common name
Yeah,
for.
fair enough. There is an old woman who goes by the name of Henrietta. Her family lives, I gave him the address of the house.
All right.
And apparently her family lives quite far away from this facility, and I found that rather curious, as there are some strange goings-on in this house, and I wanted to know whether or not they are involved in any way, shape, or form.
All right, Mom. So you want me to bag up the family and bring them here?
That's very tempting, darling, but no, I would like to find out. Oh, this is why you are so appreciated, William. You are truly a go-getter. But...
Gold star.
Your
Yes.
initiative is really
A+ for effort, but a little too far there, my dear. Just tell me all you can find out about her family, who for some reason seems the need to hire other people to take care of her.
All right. Give me a let's say a streetwise and you can choose either streetwise and charisma for him to like talk to the chain of people, or streetwise and intelligence to like track them down himself.
Well, both are the same, so I'm gonna go ahead and do charisma.
Narratively, they'll be different.
That's 3 successes.
All right. I will not tell you the outcome of that as he scurries off himself to go find his web of information gatherers himself.
Lovely.
And Imogen, are you doing anything to prepare for the journey?
Yeah, I gotta go change my dress now.
Just like stained with blood.
But in all actuality, I'll change into a darker dress and my darker headband to cover my third eye that I'm sure will start bleeding at some point tonight.
Sounds good. So the ride there, most of you are pretty keen on how to get around the city. So you will have to travel past Soho, which is kind of like the upper class, like businesses and stuff, across or around Hyde Park, which a lot of you are told not to go in there, and you suspect that it's sort of like a area for the werewolves and where they do their business. And Kensington, the address specifically is actually quite near to Hyde Park, but it's in a different bureau entirely. So it'll take about 45 minutes by cart ride, but you're more than welcome to make any stops along the way that you wish to do. If you need to feed, if you need to talk to anyone, this is the time to do it. As I assume you're going to take Prophet or Fiend your horse.
Definitely.
All right. So you all meet again after prepping, and
mask back up, and I'm good to go.
Nice. Well enough, the mask actually protects you from the rain too. It's waterproof.
Yes, and to anybody who's not, I mean, it's in the character art, but I don a plague doctor mask, the long beaked crow-like face to hide my face. It doesn't hide my gross claws, so I'll still look pretty creepy, and I gotta be careful. But it's a little bit it gives me a moment to, like, if I see somebody, I can, like, run away.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you can always walk with your hands in your coat pocket.
This is also true. Yeah.
I have a question. Do you put anything in the tip of the mask? Because, like, that's where they would put, like, flowers and stuff, because they used to think that smell caused the plague. So do you put anything in there for yourself? No.
No, it's just for the aesthetic.
Re-smelling your own stank.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't really think that I'm
She
dead.
doesn't have a nose.
I don't have anything.
I have no nose, yet I must smell. All right, so you guys, there's also a small personal stable attached to this building, because it would real suck if you had to go walk to a stable every time we wanted to travel. And in there and sort of parked alone is Fiend, as well as Octavia's personalized occult cart.
Heck yeah.
Do you want to describe your cart, as I think this is the first time anybody has seen it?
Yeah, so Fiend is a not jet black. She's a dark brown horse. She's got like a thick braided mane and a braided tail. That I get Imogen to do on the reg.
Absolutely.
The carriage itself has it's pretty long but narrow, and it's got a canvas covering. That's one of those typical, like, if you think of like carnival goers, like traveling carnival people have this very similar carriage, and inside it's filled with a bunch of little doodads, a similar like small desk, very small because it's like pretty cramped in there, if I have to make any objects on the fly. But where Fiend is attached, there's like a little bench so 2 people can sit, and there's room for someone to sit in the back.
Cool. So you all make it up to this cart, and you can hitch Fiend to it, and there's a little spot for like Prophet to sit in the carriage, and you all board this carriage. Who pilots it, or does Fiend do it herself?
I do not have drive. Funnily enough.
I have 2 in drive.
Yay!
It's Imogen.
Yeah, I don't have anything in drive, so it ain't me.
That makes sense. You care for the horse. You braid Fiend all the time.
Fun little aside, everybody in this party took animalism.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Everyone's like, animals are dope.
Yeah.
All right, so, I mean, it's a easy enough trip. It's just weird for a horse to be leading itself. So I won't actually make you roll a drive just because this is what a normal human would be able to do pretty easily. So you make yourself, you head towards Kensington. These streets are quite bare right now. There are some people walking around. It's not too late that people have all gone to sleep. So you see a few workers and a few just people out on the town. You are in the heart of the city of London, so it's still a city at night. And you head through Holborn and Covent Gardens and Soho. 2 of those I don't know what they are yet. And head towards Hyde Park. So is there anything that any of you wish to do along the way? How's your hunger?
I'm
Aiden
good.
took very good care of me with that dropped off chicken blood, so
Cool.
that farmer is keeping me in shape.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm good for now. Yeah.
There's no one you want to check in on. All right. So it's a
Perhaps on the way, if it's not too much trouble, we could go by my contact Sam. Perhaps they know something about this Carbey's family.
All right. So you can take just the regular route that you know that Sam's. This is the newsy boy, right?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see if he is out tonight. Let's see if they are out tonight. Ooh. So you travel around this general route that you know that they hand out newspapers, and you would hear Octavia. Is that Octavia's carriage over there I see?
Hello, I call out.
Kind of walks up and knocks on the door. Do carriage windows open?
I don't have it's totally canvas covered.
Oh, okay.
And then it's got the door on the back, like a wooden door.
He kind of comes over and tilts his hat and he says, "Ma'am, other ma'am, younger ma'am over there."
Hello, Sam. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, it's bloody wet out here.
Yes, would you like to come in out of the rain just for a moment?
Oh,
I have a
sure.
few questions.
And they kind of before you even finish the sentence, kind of go up and sit down. Just kind of nods at you. Again, Evelyn doesn't seem to be disturbed by your plague doctor mask.
I'm curious. And I just sit, arms crossed, just quietly.
Have
Just
you met my companions?
Oh, I've seen them around. That's Irish again. How did that happen? I've seen them. I don't question who you go around with, Miss Octavia.
Well, thank you. But I am curious. Do you know anything about the Carbeys?
Let's see. Let's roll a streetwise little kid. Ooh. Oh, that Frederick Carbey, he owns the steel mill, doesn't he? Or did, I guess.
Yes, and as you say, he's a widow? Or wait.
Oh, yeah, he got real crushed. He went down to his mill one day to inspect it, and the whole thing just crashed on top of him. Couldn't find a piece of him.
A workplace accident. They couldn't find a single piece.
Well, I don't. That's what the other kids say. Got crushed by so much iron and steel that he just disappeared.
Wow. And extended family. His wife seems to be taken care of away from the rest of the family. Is that correct?
Oh, you didn't hear? they didn't get any of his money. The rest of the family wanted his inheritance, but they didn't. None of it went to them.
I see. Well, true love really does flow strongly.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that.
One day, as you grow older.
Oof, if only. Would you like a newspaper?
Yes, Imogen loves to read them to me.
Kind of hands it to you, Octavia, and it's just like soaked through. It's like mulch, basically, at this point.
Great. I will still pay for it.
You just feel it like falling apart a little bit in your hands. And you flip them a pence? Sure.
Great.
And they kind of slide out of the carriage and it says, all right, have a good night then. I'm going to get back to work.
Oh, hold on. I pass a turnover.
You just have some more turnovers.
I have so many satchels and little bags.
Just kind
Fair.
of
Look
like,
at my character art stream.
you thought that was all devices, but no, some of them are pastries. You hand them a pastry and they're like, oh, great, apple, my favorite.
I hope you have a lovely evening, Sam.
You too, mem. Other mem. Younger mem. Bye. They kind of like walk off into the rain.
They
and just-
remind me of you, Imogen. Their energy
Yes.
is so warm.
Well, thank you. They seemed absolutely lovely.
Curious, he didn't seem to mind me.
Very true.
you would know that they've been like they believe all the ghosts and goblins and stuff, and being around Octavia enough, they're just like used to strange individuals lurking
Fair.
around. They don't ask questions, and they don't answer any questions about themselves. They ain't no narc. Yes, after that encounter, you make your way past Hyde Park.
Any other stops for anyone?
That's true.
I think I'm gonna just keep an eye out, see if there's any sketchy looking people harassing any women in the alleyways or anything like that. But otherwise, I think I'm not even that hungry. I'm just like, hey, are there any assholes?
Give me a wits and awareness, Evelyn.
Tried and true. Wits and awareness.
Do a shot.
Yeah. Where the frig is awareness on this sheet? Holy crap. Oh, it's over here. Duh. I don't see anybody. Those are all fucking fails.
The rain is kind of obscured a little bit, and you don't notice anything.
I'm not overly hungry, so I'm just kind of like passively like glancing. I'm like,
Yeah.
Later.
Nothing of interest. But as you'd pass Hyde Park, sure enough, you hear what sounds like dogs barking, and you can kind of feel Prophet like tense up a bit, Octavia, as you pass the park. But it's not anything that you wouldn't be accustomed to at this point. You're just told to not go into Hyde Park.
Yeah, this just always happens.
Yeah.
Do I make a connection of Hyde Park with the man that hired us?
You sure can. So the thing is, his name was Dr. Jekyll.
But there
Yeah,
was the
the
bar.
hideaway.
The bar was the hideaway.
Yes. Or
Okay.
the gang was the hideaway.
Okay.
Dr. Jekyll himself, just a normal doctor
Sorry.
named
Yes,
Dr.
of
Jekyll.
course.
But you could definitely connect the hideaway to possibly being named after Hyde Park. Yes, you seem unaccosted as you travel past the park, and it is only a short few more blocks to the address in Kensington. As you approach, these buildings are all sort of like, kind of like, you ever see San Francisco where it's just really tall buildings kind of stacked next to each other, all attached? It's a bunch of those, but they're all very large and affluent looking. And you go up to the address that you were given, 72 Warwick Gardens, Kensington, and all of the light, there are no lights in there. You can't see any candlelight or anything, as it is quite dark at this time of night.
I assume the front door is locked, so we must find a different way in.
I mean, that's up to you.
I would prefer not to go through the front door. So, I would like to look for perhaps a window
Sure.
or something.
So you kind of like park Fiend, and Evelyn hops off. Give me, let's say, a subterfuge. And
Oh, well, this is gonna go well. Alright.
subterfuge and either wits or intelligence. I don't care.
Cool.
Whichever is higher.
Yeah.
They're the same. Hear that? That's 2 dice.
Yeah, 2 successes.
Hey, both of them were successes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still only 2, but still.
So you hear Evelyn just hop off and splash into a puddle and walk towards the house. What are the two of you doing while Evelyn goes and scopes out the house?
I think I'll
gonna
follow.
Okay, you gonna go
I'm
after?
gonna follow too. I'll follow, yeah.
No, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I would follow though, for sure.
All right. So as Evelyn's trying to be like sneaky and walking around looking for any locks.
You guys just snickering behind.
Let's
Where are
just
you
keep
going?
Splash. So the way that these are designed, there's no actual like alleyways between the houses. It's sort of like a flat facade. Behind it would be another entrance, and you would know that there is another park, but a smaller one behind that. So you go up and you start checking some of the windows and stuff. They are indeed locked, and the front door is also locked. It seems that Murphy had the good sense to at least lock the door before he left, or perhaps she has locked herself in. But with 2 successes, you are not able to find any point of entry that's on the first floor, at least.
Well, it just so happens that I have Soaring Leap. So could I possibly go up to a higher level
You could.
to do such a thing?
And I believe there is no roll for Soaring Leap. You could just jump real high.
Yeah.
I do it!
There is.
I jump high.
So you can jump vertically 3 times your potence. So what is your potence?
My potence is 2 points.
All right. So let's see. 2 times 3 meters.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm quite sure.
Quite high.
That's pretty dang high.
That's like 3
How high
doors
is-
height.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this, it is a taller than average floor per floor, but it still at that height you can jump. There's a balcony sort of on the edge of it, and you just like jump off of the water, land up on the balcony with ne'er a problem.
Amazing. I'd like to like jump up and then land on like the railing very gracefully with my like cane above my shoulder, just like
So
and I
extra.
hop down and see if I can make myself in without needing to break any windows. We'll leave that for the last case scenario.
Sure, give me another wits and subterfuge or intelligence, whatever.
That's only 1 success.
All right. There is only one
There's
door,
only,
but it's
like-
almost like a sun door out onto the balcony, and you can actually see that there is a latch on the inside
Okay.
that is pretty obvious, but with that you can't you don't see any other way in. You could potentially try to lockpick if you wish.
Yeah, sure. I'll
All
do
right.
that.
Then that one will be a dex and subterfuge, which I'm pretty sure you're better at.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna use a willpower on that one.
Sounds good.
Getting into the haunted area seems important for our show.
You the two of you are just sort
God.
of like sitting there
Okay,
watching
it's
her.
great. That was 3 successes.
All right. The difficulty was not that high since latched windows are incredibly easy to lockpick. You kind of just
Well,
you could even just like jam your sword in between the two doors and like move it up, and the latch will go and flip over. So
cool.
not that much of a problem. I was just trying to.
So
see
you're
if you would fail.
you're telling me I wasted a willpower.
I don't know.
Storyteller.
Hey.
Evelyn really wanted to get into this.
Yes, I absolutely did. I was sick of not finding things.
And the door sweeps open.
While that is happening, I turn to Imogen's direction and I say, you know, the night air just smells so lovely. Is there any chance you could treat me with a little bit of poetry before we make our way in?
Oh, I'm not here for this. I'm upset.
Poetry about moon.
I'm here for this. So, as
These are
the
all so romantic.
as the storyteller, I
Good.
refuse to progress the story until this happens.
Yeah.
We are
So
locked
what?
in Mass Effect style conversation. Wheel
Just
until
them
you-
just staring blankly at the question wheel.
Gotta do the neck scratch behind the head. Gotta look to.
And then she just responds with, I should go.
Octavia.
Pastry throws up. I found a haiku. Would I know what Imogen want to know what a haiku is? It is now.
Actually, weirdly enough, yes, you would, because of a specific thing later on that will happen.
Ooh.
Alrighty then. I found a haiku. I'm stealing poetry. Here, this will be like a special thing you could watch later. We'll give all the credits. Oh no, I'm not a robot. Let me read the poem.
I've derailed this entire episode. I'm so sorry.
No, I've got it. It's fine. Irish accent.
By this
One
point, I've
minute.
come down and I've unlocked the door, and I'm like, "Are you coming?"
I also switched
door's
into the
open.
scary music already because Evelyn opened the spooky door, so now it's just spooky, scary music while you do this.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm waiting
I'm
patiently.
waiting for you.
I've got a haiku for you. One moon among stars, a lone dog barking at night. Without love, who knows?
Aw,
It's the haiku I found.
so
Prophet,
sweet.
it's a haiku about you.
Here we are.
I
Oh,
will-
excellent. That looks perfect.
I will give you 1 extra dice for your next roll for actually going through the effort of doing that.
Hey!
Yay.
Oh, Evelyn, I
Yes.
feel your presence.
If you wouldn't
Thank
mind coming
goodness.
inside so we can do our jobs, that would be amazing. And I just walk back into the house with the door wide open.
Oh, work and no play with this one.
Oh, but this one's got a reference to the rain in it.
Wait, did
next
you,
time,
Back.
next time.
Evelyn? You were still up on the balcony.
I thought by this point I would have come downstairs because she was like
Oh
thinking
no!
up
If
poetry.
you're entering the house, that we're doing that scene.
Oh,
Okay.
spooky.
All right. So I wouldn't have come back. I'll do that part later. That'll be after.
You'll be like, "Hey, can you recite that poem for me?"
Yeah.
So as you open the sun doors, a brush of cold air comes out from inside the house, rivaling the cold air of the rainy night around you. And you smell musky, almost stale scent from coming in from inside the house, almost like long applied perfume that has gone a bit stale in the air. You are in a kind of like a tea room, just a nice area to sit with the doors open during a summer day, the 2 of them that they get in London. There's nobody here. All of the candles are unlit.
Okay. As I enter the room, is there anything. I mean, I don't have any occult, which is why I'm like, I should go get the other two.
Get the professionals.
But is there anything that would catch my eye, like as somebody who has investigated things before? I have a dot in occult, so I can check, but
I mean,
not
you
too
could give
much.
me a investigation and wits if you want. If you're
Cool.
actively like walking around looking for stuff.
Yes, I will do that. That's 3 successes.
Okay. You don't notice anything out of place other than the fact that this room has sort of accumulated a layer of dust. And there's a few like teacups and stuff that seem to have tea still in them, but like almost fully drank, but kind of starting to go a little bit moldy.
Lovely.
It just seems that there's a lot of like stuff, like this room has not been tended.
Stuff has been. It's been a while since anybody's been in here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna make my way towards the front door, keeping an eye out as I go to see if there is like any lights on anywhere, like if there's a locked door that Henrietta might be in.
Mm-hmm. So
In some far corridor as I'm walking towards the front door, just kind of like, hey, she's up there.
yeah,
It's also weird because Murphy said that he cleaned every day.
he also said he hasn't been back in a few nights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not
He
to.
also just might not be good at his job.
Yeah.
Rude.
like his clean might not be the same as our clean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a couple doors leading out of this room. You see that one leads into a conjoined powder room that would kind of go into maybe the master bedroom. And the other door leads out into the hallway. And as you said, you were going towards the front door. I'm going to need you to roll a wits and awareness as you enter the hallway and begin walking towards the stairs.
That's 2 successes.
All right. All you hear is the creaking of your feet as you walk down the hallway towards what you can see is the stairs. It's a very narrow home, but you can tell that the layout is quite large as you've seen it from the inside. But all of the hallways seem to be quite narrow, possibly to make room for more room. As you make your way to the end of the hallway, you turn a corner and you can see this staircase leading down, as well as several other doors leading off to different rooms.
Cool. Yeah, I go down.
All right. And again, the like railing of the stairway is quite dusty at this point. You make your way downstairs, and to your right at the bottom of the stairs is a large like meeting area, like a common area with couches set up and a fireplace there that is unlit. And right in front of you is the main doorway that Octavia and Imogen. You can hear faint poetry coming from outside the door.
Okay, I unlock it, and then I just stand and look at them as they're doing the poetry, and then I tell them to get the help inside, and then I walk back in.
Always work and no play with this one.
Octavia, you can feel, in particular, the cold air rush out of the house.
Does it smell dead?
Give me a wits and awareness.
It's ain't weird.
Because you also smell the stale, musty perfume scent, but we'll see if you can smell anything underneath that.
Just 2.
Yeah,
Can
nothing.
I do it as well?
Yeah, of course. We'll see.
I got 2 10s, which is 1
That's
crit, which is
4.
4.
Yeah, 4
Hell
successes.
yeah.
Nice. So Evelyn, you're or Octavia, you're almost like overwhelmed by it. Just kind of smells like unwashed human and perfume.
Gross.
Imogen, you smell
B.O.
Yeah. Them dank smells.
you smell a bit of rot on the air. Sort
Ew.
of like human-ish, but you're picking up almost like plant rot.
That doesn't smell very good. I'll fill him in on what it is. Smells like dying plants. Who? How dare they?
It doesn't seem like anyone's been here in quite some time. I thought he was only gone a few days, but look at all the dust that has accumulated in that time.
How loud are you all being?
I feel like I'm being relatively quiet, because we don't
Okay.
know if there are spookies around.
Just kind
Yeah.
of stage whispering.
Yeah, we're just like, hey, there's weird shit.
All right, so as the three of you stand on the threshold, I'm going to need everybody except for Evelyn to give me a wits and awareness.
Now can we smell it?
This
oh
is-
wait, except for Evelyn. Just kidding.
Or sorry, wits and investigation.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't do it? Okay, I will.
Yeah, because you already kind of.
Yeah, I already kind of did.
We're going with your passive roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I keep only getting 110.
Ooh.
Just 2
Yeah,
successes.
You can
Yeah,
still-
110.
If you roll another 10 on a willpower, you get still a crit.
Fine. The 10 was on the hunger die,
One
so
success.
Ooh.
Yeah.
4 successes, but
All
still
right.
no 10.
As Imogen and Evelyn are sort of talking, you, Octavia, hear a faint coming from the sort of living area to your left now.
Do you hear a rocking chair? Or a door in the breeze? It's coming in this direction. And I'll start walking with Prophet like kind of guiding me further into the house.
As you enter the room, the sound becomes louder, and Evelyn and Imogen see the rocking chair that Octavia is talking about. It is sitting next to the fireplace that is still unlit, and there seems to be a large lump of just fabric sitting on it. As you can notice now, the head of a old woman, sticking up out of the lump, and 2 arms sort of like to its side, still holding a teacup.
Fascinating.
Hello?
Hi, hello there.
The rocking stops. Hello?
I activate Cloak of
Miss
Shadows. And I fucking disappear.
Is somebody there?
Well, yes, it's myself and my
yes.
partner, Imogen. I'm so sorry, Imogen. You love to introduce yourself.
My name is Imogen. It's lovely to meet you, Mrs. Carbey. Murphy sent us. He said we're friends of Murphy.
Oh, Murphy, that boy hasn't been around for some time now, has he? And she kind of like slowly lifts the tea up to her mouth and sips from it. You can see next to her in the fireplace is a scattering of wooden logs and a few like broken matches at the base of it. And you notice a bit of steam coming off of her tea as she's just like curled up in a ton of blankets and just starts sipping it again.
He told us that he was here not too long ago, a few nights at most.
Yes, well, I'm not too sure how long he's been gone for.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Carbey?
Yes, it's quite cold in here. This fire hasn't been lit in some time.
Oh, well, Imogen can make quick work of that.
Of course. I'll go
Well, yeah,
do
you
that.
go ahead. While this is happening, when I'm all hidey, can I use Sense the Beast on this old lady?
Sure. Give me a resolve and animalism versus her composure and subterfuge.
Okay, resolve. Ooh.
She got 1 success.
Please do well. 1, 2. I'm gonna use a willpower.
I mean, you know that she only got 1.
That's
Actually, yeah, that's true. I'll just do 2 successes. Fuck it.
true. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't sense like any hostility coming from her as well. You don't sense anything supernatural from her. She
Okay.
seems to just be a old woman. And
Okay.
Imogen, you walk over and see this box of matches sitting next to the now kind of scattered fireplace logs. And you're going to try to light the fire?
Yes.
All right. So as you rearrange the logs and open up the flue, you light the match. And the moment that the fire sparks on the tip of the match, I'm going to need you to give me a willpower roll.
Oh, this was mean because Emily doesn't know. I also forgot. Vampires really do not like fire.
It's okay. Imogen also wouldn't really know at this point.
Octavia's just like,
Amy, you
Imogen,
told me
go
to do
this. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Listen, an old lady asked you to keep her warm. I think that's enough for the slip of the mind.
She's
2
more.
successes.
All right, as the fire lights, you sort of go wide-eyed as a intense feeling of fear comes over you, and you just stare at the match in front of your hand, or in your hand right now. And with 2 willpower, I'll say that you have just enough sense to chuck it into the fireplace and sort of like step away fast enough that as the kindling starts to crackle and spread, anyone else? I would say probably Octavia would be close enough. As you hear the crackling of the wood and the warmth start to emanate, I'm going to need a willpower save from you as well.
Yeah, I
Everyone-
don't know where I would have gone. I know I just went into a corner somewhere, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got 1.
I don't know how far it would have been.
1 success. Yeah, I'll say that again. You're filled with like the intense fear, and you step away, and Prophet sort of like pulls you aside, but not enough, fast enough that the fire hasn't grown too large that you don't get any more hungry. You're just like, you're very aware of how far away you are from the fire now, as 2 of you just move away from this old lady.
Well, there we are. I'm sure that this will get nice and toasty in here in no time.
Thank you. It's been quite cold in here for a while. So, what did you say that you were here for again?
Well, we just came to check on you. We heard some odd noises coming from other parts of the home. Are you here alone?
Yes. Ever since my Fred died, I've been here alone.
Yes, I heard about poor Fred and an accident at the mill. Is that right?
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell you. Do you think there might be some other explanation?
Listen, if you've just come here to talk about my old dead husband, I would kindly ask you to leave if you have no other business.
Well, I actually came to see if you would like to talk to your old dead husband.
She's kind of like, the tea just stops mid-sip. That's an odd request from a stranger. Who did you say you were again?
Oh, I'm Octavia Smith. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Let's see if she's heard of you.
I have 2 dots in fame.
Yes, you're that shyster who convinces people that there are ghosts around, aren't you?
Well, that's not very nice.
Yeah, Octavia's like,
I mean, it's not nice to walk into an old woman's home and promise her communication with her old loved ones only to pull the wool over her eyes.
I will do no such thing, I promise. And, not being able to see is sometimes an advantage. I often get my clients to close their eyes, and I don't see at all anyways.
So you heard noise, and she starts like slowly taking off some of the layers as it gets a bit more warm as she's sitting in the rocking chair. You've said Murphy sent you because there were noises in the house, and now you've come to talk to my husband. I don't believe I understand. Are you looking for my husband?
I'm just curious with what this situation seems to be. I'm not sure if the information that we've been given is accurate or not, but there were other things, not just noises. I see you do enjoy some tea. Did Fred used to make tea for you?
I can make my own tea, thank you very much.
But was it something that you enjoyed together?
Fred's not much of a... wasn't much of a talker. He was a strong man, ran the mill with a firm hand. You can kind of feel like a hesitance in her voice as she's talking, as you're bringing up old memories of her husband. Imogen, you can see like a slow teardrop coming on the corner of her eye. It was a terrible accident, and I'll believe that until the day I die, but I know Fred, and I know that he was not one to let accidents happen. So, we'll just leave it at that then, shall we?
Go ahead, Evelyn.
While this is happening, I was wondering if I could attempt to use Unseen Passage and go check out the rest of the house while they are talking with this old woman, because I really can't add to this.
Give me a rouse
She will
check.
be rather frightened of my presence, I believe. Oh boy, did that fail real hard.
No, I thought it was gonna be good.
In fact, it was a big old skull. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
So give yourself a extra hunger as you slink into the shadows unseen. You almost hear echoing through the building, but still within your own mind. Evelyn, this home reminds me of yours. Devour this woman who's near to death and take it for yourself.
I just raise my eyebrow in annoyance that he has made himself known to me at this moment, and I go about my business.
All right.
Or try to, anyways. I try to brush it off.
So as long as you make no sound or emit any odor, which I'm going to say your passive odor is fine. We'll say it's fine.
I didn't go into the sewers too bad, and it was raining.
Yeah.
So we gotta,
So you begin to sneak back into the home. So on this first floor, this is sort of like the kitchen area, the dining room. There's another smaller powder room and restroom as well. There's a small guest room on this floor.
Okay.
And it seems to be more the living area on the first floor.
I feel like I'm more interested in upstairs in the rooms that were closed off at that point, because I feel like these two could handle downstairs.
Sounds good. So as you go upstairs again, so to your left at the top of the stairs, there's about 4 doors that you can choose from. Just based on your knowledge of the home, it's near impossible for you to figure out which one is which without actually investigating it.
Yes.
So I will
The
say
closest door to me, I suppose.
all
I
right.
think that would be best. Start close and work our way in.
You open a nice door. It is locked.
I try to unlock it.
All right, give me
It's
another.
not gonna go well.
Give me another dex and subterfuge.
Okay.
I'm just doing storyteller rolls over here.
And now I'm gonna go ahead and do a willpower.
What are you at now?
I am at 3.
All right. So your
Okay, that was 2 successes.
as you're picking the lock, you can't quite make it, but you push through as you're beginning to become a bit frustrated that you're having such a hard time with this, and your vampiric power kind of cracks the lock a little bit. It wasn't so much a simple lockpick as you just like absent-mindedly pushed so hard that the lock went and cracked.
Yeah.
And you were able to push open the door.
All right, I enter this room, whatever it may be.
You don't have eyes of the beast or anything, right?
No, I just have sense the beast.
All right. So it is quite dark in this room. The blinds are thick, heavy blinds that block out the moonlight. So you are going to have to find your way around the room in quite darkness.
Can I try to make my way to what I think are the blinds and pull them open?
Sure. I won't even make you roll. With a bit of stumbling, you like knock into what feels like a bed frame, and sort of like
not making too much noise, I hope.
Actually, all right. Since you mentioned it.
Why did I do that?
But isn't she upstairs?
Give me a dex and stealth.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yes, she is upstairs and the old lady is downstairs. This is very true information.
Interesting.
Stealth. Oh yeah, I'm fucking golden. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's freaking 8 whole dice. Just kidding. They all failed.
Oh my god!
None of them were bestial failures,
Okay.
but they all failed. I don't want to use another fucking willpower.
None of the red ones were skulls.
Wow.
No, none of them at all. None of them. They were all just all real bad.
Wow, that is.
Oh
That was fucking fate right there.
Y'all, I think Rachel might be the new Emily.
Yikes.
Emily, the curse is lifted. You're free. You can play a tabletop RPG.
And not crit fail. I didn't crit fail.
It's the real dice, really.
Yeah.
If I rolled on roll 20,
That's true.
I'd be failing all over the place.
So you begin to fumble around and you slam your knee into the bed frame. I'm going to say with no successes, you take 1 superficial damage.
Amazing.
And you let out a yelp before you catch yourself. Downstairs, Imogen and Octavia, mid-sentence, you hear a and the old lady stops and is like,
Shit.
is there someone else here?
I'm not sure. Is there someone else here? I ask her. Like,
As I said, I live alone, and so unless you brought somebody with you.
Oh, Prophet, look, there you've come back now. I'm sure it was just the dog running around.
I'm so sorry. He's usually much better behaved. Prophet, don't go upstairs when you're not supposed to.
I'm gonna say, give me a charisma and persuade. This is some lion-ass bullshit, and I cannot stand for
on you. I'm charismatic as fuck.
That's
and
true.
Also, you gave me an extra dice roll that I forgot to use earlier.
Yeah!
And I use it now.
For sure.
So I am rolling a 7 dice right now, my dude.
Oof.
Let's
Don't
go.
jinx it. Don't jinx it.
1, 2,
Okay, good. Jesus.
5 successes.
Bam.
you see her like look at the dog suspiciously, look at you, and with your radiating innocence, convince this old lady that it was in fact the dog that had bumped into something and yelped. And she says, "It's all right. I haven't had a dog around here in quite a long time. I'm just not used to it. Now,
Did you used to have pets then?
when Fred and I were younger, we used to have some dogs around here, but they're too hard to take care of now."
Oh, that's too bad then. And what about your family? It's quite a large house. You must have had many children.
They're all adults now with their own kids of their own.
You're a grandmother. That's so exciting.
You can see like a look of pride kind of build up in her as you're just saying this. Yes, Ozzy went off and made his own family. Listen, I don't mean to be rude. You just caught me in a moment of contemplation. Can I get you some tea?
I would love some tea.
Can we have tea?
No.
Yeah.
But again, it's an old lady asking if you want some tea. It's up to you.
Well, I could help you out if you'd like. Should we go on a walk around?
That'd be lovely. And she kind of like sloughs off the rest of the blankets that she has. And you can see that her dress is a little bit stained right now. And it's quite dated. And she kind of just like gets up off the rocking chair and starts walking towards the kitchen. As you both enter the kitchen with her, you, Octavia, sense where the staleness in the air was coming from, as there are several like unwashed dishes just gathering mildew and stuff. And it's, you can smell like a heavy perfume that's sort of been sprayed in this room to cover it. But it's quite easy to smell underneath that. But she sort of like finds a few clean dishes with your help, Imogen, and starts brewing up some tea. And once it's done, a lot of you kind of like sit around the kitchen table. She sort of clears it a bit for you to sit. And she says, "Now, what, Miss Octavia, what is it that you wanted to do here?"
Well, there are very many options that we could take. The first is just lighting a simple candle, sitting together around this table, drinking some tea, and seeing what happens.
And suppose
I start washing dishes.
Oh,
This isn't acceptable. This is not acceptable.
it's nice. Salubrious. You can feel your aunt a little bit proud of you. The beast sort of calms down a bit as you wash the dishes of this woman. All right. Well, suppose I was interested. What's something like what would something like this cost me?
Oh, free of charge. No, free of charge. No worries at all.
Interesting. Well,
No worries, I say, as we are in Victorian London era.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's the theme, not the dialogue. I'm fine with more modern flair dialogue. It makes it easier to watch.
I just want to know what happened to Fred. There seems to be some underlying story here that I'm missing.
All right. Well, if you're so interested, I suppose that I can placate you in this situation. I have nothing else to do.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you start prepping your apparati and whatnot.
Yeah, I won't take out anything other than a candle for now, and I'll just see. I won't do any further steps other than, like, I'll try and premonition while we're here.
All right, sounds good. While you begin to prepare, Evelyn.
Hi, I'm freaking pissed. Is there anything in here cool?
So So you sort of you wait for a moment after you make the noise, listen, nobody seems to be coming upstairs. So you can continue your way towards the window. And as you open the curtains, the moonlight comes in, and it's lit enough that you can see around the room. Once in a while, clouds will pass over the moon and kind of darken the room, almost like a flickering light, I guess.
Yeah.
Give me a intelligence and/or wits and investigation.
Intelligence and wits or investigation, you say?
Yes.
I can definitely do that. Get all these failed dice out of my way.
Yeah.
Need a dice
Only
present.
successes now.
3 successes.
Okay. So you can tell that this is the master bedroom. The bed has like hanging drapes around it, and you find an armoire and a mirror set up, and a mannequin with a dress kind of on it. But it seems not the size of the woman that you had seen previously. It seems older as well.
Interesting.
And upon investigating the room more, you notice there's an indent in the bed. And you can tell that one side of the bed has been like pulled tight, but the other side of the bed is indented. The only thing is, you notice that the bed isn't dusty. It seems like it's been recently used.
Interesting. Can I, like, take out my sword and, in very Steve fashion, stab the indent of the bed?
Sure.
Not that it would do anything to a ghost, but I'm just like,
Yeah, is it a +1? Does it do magic damage?
I don't think so. It's just a sword. Yeah.
I'm getting
it's
very
just- yeah.
Haunting of Fall Manor.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're
I
talking
stab it!
Give me a dex and melee.
Oh boy. Okie dokie.
That's just with a ha.
Just all new dice. Just want them.
Come on.
Good. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes, 2 of which were 10s.
Nice. You do
Thank goodness.
4 damage to the bed as you
Amazing.
pierce through it, and you can feel the wood underneath the mattress as you stabbed far enough to hit the frame of the bed, and your sword kind of gets stuck a bit, and you pull it back out. And as you do, a bit of down comes out as well. But beyond that,
Nothing.
you don't hear. You don't feel ghost damage. You don't feel like.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the dress. Just want to see if it has anything weird or like vibey in that corner of the room before I like head out and look somewhere else.
Sure. The dress is actually well kept. It seems you'd gather just from being an older woman yourself that it's more of a nostalgic piece. That it seems like it was her favorite dress, but you know, she can't really fit in it anymore, so she's just kind of keeping it, and it's cool.
Okay.
Beyond that, it's just a nice dress. This house kind of, on top of reeking of perfume and staleness, kind of reeks of affluence. And rifling through some of the rest of her drawers and stuff, you can see just like jewelry and various rings and stuff. Several perfumes, as Murphy had said, just stacking this room.
Okay. I begrudgingly leave because I feel like this has turned into nothing and I made a bunch of noise for no reason.
Yeah,
I'm just like, this fucking room.
luckily washing the dishes is making enough noise right now that nobody heard you stab the bed.
Yeah.
And as you're doing this, the moon is like, the light is sort of ebbing and flowing as the clouds dissipate. So there is a room immediately to your left and another room immediately to your right at this point, and the stairs are in front of you.
Well, I shut the door behind me so it doesn't look like anybody was there.
You kind of like close it, and then it like opens
like,
a little bit as the hatch is broken.
Right. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I stabbed the bed. I broke the door. It's fine.
More investigating.
Investigators.
I'll go to the one on my right. Is it also locked? It's probably all locked because this lady seems paranoid as shit.
I wonder why as you break into her home.
Give me another wits and awareness real quick as you exit the door and walk down the hallway a bit.
Okay. I believe I only have one of those. Yeah. That was 2 successes.
All right. As you are closing the door, the moonlight sort of shines through the window for a moment, and you swear that you make out a humanoid shape. But as the light sort of comes back in the room, you notice that the dress kind of caught your eye for a moment, and you close the door, walk down the hallway, and the next door is not locked. As I said, she only locks her bedroom.
Oh, right. Sorry, that's right. But now that the boy's gone, I don't know if she's like, I'm by myself. What if somebody comes and hurts me?
I'm by myself. I'm gonna lock all my doors and make it hard.
Nobody else is around. I don't know.
So as you enter this door, I'm going to cut back down to Evelyn and Imogen. Imogen, you have
Octavia
and Imogen, sorry. Imogen, you have successfely cleaned the majority of the dishes.
Props to you. Wow.
As it was, there weren't a lot of dishes. They were just caked and grimy, so it took a little bit of elbow work. Your like sleeves are rolled up and like tied a little bit at this point. And if you could sweat, you probably would be sweating, but you can't, so it's fine.
That's fantastic.
What a world this is.
What a perk.
So
can't eat food, but no sweating. So
no sweating. Gotta kill people. Constantly have murder in your head. Don't sweat though. Don't really breathe.
Emily's weighing things out here.
Yeah. Actually, I think at this point, Imogen probably still breathes out of habit. Evelyn for sure.
No.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Absolutely does not breathe. Yeah.
Octavia probably catches herself like, I haven't breathed in like a minute. Oh no. Oh yes. So would you like to, everybody sort of settles down back at the table. Would you like to describe how this happens?
Yeah. Octavia will take a single, like already used white candle and like plump it down between the three of us at the table. Strike a damn it. Pass the matchbox to Henrietta.
It's probably part of, you say it's probably part of the ceremony of like, you need to be the one to light the match.
Yeah.
It connects you to the candle.
Exactly.
And you see her shaking a little bit as she... And yours are a bit newer than hers were, so they were easier to light. And she lights the candle, and you both kind of feel a little hot on the collar for a moment, but it's just a candle, so it's fine.
Now, at this point, we will all touch hands, if you will, and squeeze tightly. You may keep your eyes open if you wish. I usually recommend to close them, and we're just going to call out and see if anyone is here.
Do you close your eyes, Imogen?
Yes, absolutely. She told me to.
All right. So the two of you have your eyes closed, and you assume the old lady has her eyes closed. And
I peek out of one eye to make sure that she's closing her eyes.
You catch her with her eyes open, and she kind of like rolls them a bit and closes her eyes.
I'm consistently peeking to make sure that she's keeping her eyes closed.
She's like making a real show of closing her eyes. Like, oh, she's asking me. I'm going to keep my eyes closed. Continue, Octavia.
Now, Henrietta, since you have the deepest connection to the person we're trying to reach, I recommend you call out to your man.
So I just say, Fred, Fred, are you there?
Yep.
Is it working? Is he?
Give it a moment.
Evelyn, as you enter the door, you notice that this is a office, quite dusty office, and you only know this because the blind is open just a crack, and the moonlight is shining on what appears to be a desk, and you see that it's very tidy. It doesn't appear that it has been used in a while.
Oh. Is this perhaps Fred's office?
Perhaps.
Okay, well, I'm going to rummage about that desk if I can get my hands over there.
All right, so you begin, you go up to the desk. Do you open the curtain a little bit more to give yourself some light?
Mm-hmm.
And now you can see that the shelves are kind of covered in books and stuff. A lot of ledgers over the years, most of them from the steel mill, just based on the labeling on the spine. There's a couch on the other end of the office, as well as a what the hell are they called again? The cigarettes where you put the butts. Ashtray. Man, I don't. That's a weird one to not know.
What are brains?
And you see a small liquor cabinet set up with what appears to be a few liquors still in there. And you begin rummaging through the desk. So give me a intelligence investigation, but hold on to the result for me just for a second, as we're going to go back to the seance going downstairs. And she says, all right, Frederick, if you are there, we are trying to communicate with you. This woman has come by my house unannounced to call upon you, and if you're there, we might as well show yourself, Fred. Are you doing anything specific?
At this point, I would like to try and premonition.
All right, give me a resolve and auspex then.
Heck yeah! Resolve and auspex. 4, 5, 6 dice.
Also give me a rouse.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Pass.
Okay, I was like hovering over that button.
3 successes.
All right, 3 successes. So she is calling out for Fred. Are you doing anything at this point, Imogen? Just sort of going along with it?
Absolutely.
Evelyn, what was the result of your roll?
3 successes, 2 of which were crits.
Nice. Through the desk, as you're sort of like rummaging, and at this point, the amount of willpower that you have left, some of the drawers are actually locked, and you just sort of like pull them so that they snap off. You find
at this point it's fine.
You find several ledgers in here that haven't been placed up on the bookshelves, and judging by the fact that the bookshelves seem full, you don't suspect that these ledgers were actually originally placed there. And again, with that roll, looking through the ledgers, you notice that Frederick was skimming a bit. Several of his partners were not receiving the amount of, or the amount that they should have been, and Fred was lying a lot about the price of several of the resources. Just to, take a bit off the top. Downstairs again, you sit for a moment going through the paces of your premonitioning. And as you hear her calling out to Frederick, her voice sort of becomes like hollow and echoey as it's being pulled away from you. And Octavia, you find yourself in the top floor of this very home. And you feel sick. There's you haven't felt like a cold or a flu in a while, but your body feels like aching and just heavy as you hear your footsteps walking above you. And as you're still in your body, you can actually hear yourself above you in the house. You hear cracks around you of and rifling of paper. And you hear of a door opening. You hear yourself walking further away now. Still in the kitchen, you can hear your own footsteps going into a room. And you hear just rifling of paper. And you go to where you instinctively know that your envelope opener is. And you brush your hand across your own desk. And you jam your envelope opener into the top of the desk and begin carving words onto the desk. You begin, "Get out. You are not welcome here." As you are pulled back into your body in the kitchen. Evelyn.
Do I see these words get carved?
You hear the door open.
Oh boy.
You hear footsteps walking towards you. And you see a pale hand reach out of the darkness, grab the envelope opener, and carve these words into the top of the desk. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Ah!
Thank you, Dork Tales, for the raid. I'm sorry I couldn't say it earlier. I didn't want to break the tension. Ah!
Yay!
Scary!
Spooky.
Great. Wow, yay, episode 1.
Yay! The haunted window.
Haunted window. All right. And we'll do some housekeeping. Right now, we are running our Indiegogo for Season 2 right now. There's only 10 more days. I'm dropping the link in the chat right now if you want to take a look at that. Our best deal is the D-Cup perk. For $100, you can have one of us come and DM at your table, which I think is a really good deal. If you just grab 3 friends and you each chip in like $25, then you get it. That's my little life hack for you.
Yeah.
Other ways to support the show, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/tabletop tiddies. We have merch at tabletoptiddies.threadless.com with a sale going on right now, 15% off everything until May 23rd.
Ew.
Go give us a follow on social media at Tabletop Tiddies. And if you go tweet using hashtag #TTTiddies, Kelly or Shar might steal your name for an NPC on either show. All of this information can be found on our website, which is www.tabletoptiddies.com. And every time I'm saying titties, it's with double D's.
Ew.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It's so exciting.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Also, oh
anything
no,
else?
wait, oh no, I was gonna
Also what?
shout out who your NPC was.
Oh, my NPC.
Yeah.
I mean, Aiden was here in chat. Arden Ash, Aiden, you are in the show. You are the farmer that supplies Octavia with all her good animal blood so she doesn't have to kill any humans. Thank you so much for being in the show, being a patron, being a huge supporter. We appreciate you very, very much.
Yay.
Yay! All right, now everyone wave at the camera until we're gone.
Okay, bye!